Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic, less known classic. This is episode number 2589 and Doubleshot number 2483. You're thinking, Nick, you're doing a lot of comic corners lately. Well, because I got a trades review, and I haven't had a chance to finish reading my book I'm reading right now. I did finish yesterday the 17th volume for That Time of Crimes and Slime, and now I'm basically on the Imprints of Shadow Book 2. Once finished that, then I'll resume watch my anime. Alright, first up we have is a brand new character, because basically previously it was Thunderbolts in this slot. Now it's basically the Savage She-Hulk. Yep, we're doing She-Hulk. This is the first Masterworks that collects Savage She-Hulk. One of two, because this is a short-lived title. This lasts for 25 issues, this series of Savage She-Hulk. Now, there was a second volume published in the 2000s, but that's a completely different She-Hulk. Now, Jennifer Walters, actually her cousin's daughter, Lyra. Her mother is Thundera, a character from Stan Lee, from the Fantastic Four. Yeah, how she was conceived was weird. It's like, oh, Thundera makes out with the Hulk, takes some of his saliva, and somehow that is how she was conceived. It's weird, but that's the explanation we get for Lyra. As for She-Hulk, well, aka Jennifer Walters. Now, at this point in time, of course, it's the start of her career. Now, you think nowadays, oh, She-Hulk, you mean how Jennifer Walters is in control of both, basically the monster form and as, well, where Jennifer Walters is in control of the She-Hulk form? Yeah, that doesn't happen at this point. This is the very start. Now, of course, Jennifer Walters is a lawyer in, not New York, but California, specifically in LA. Yeah, this debuted in 1982. Probably from Masterworks. This is the latest I have ever seen a Masterworks ever start. Actually, it started in 1980. I think it included 1982. Sorry, in February 1980. The first issue and the last issue, 14, came out in March of 1981. Now, I should point out, though, the guy who wrote the very first issue, this is the only issue he wrote for this character, and he never, ever wrote this character ever again. To my knowledge, he never has. Who is that? Stan Lee. Yes, Stan Lee created She-Hulk. He did the opening issue, and then for the rest of the run, it's David Alan Croft. The artwork here for the first issue is done by John Buscema, a legendary artist who, I don't know if he still does work anymore. And Mike Vosberg is the artist for the rest of the run. Now, the opening issue is something that's still to this very day, 44 years later, yes, it's been 44 years since this first came out, this is pretty much still canon. I mean, the only change that's ever been made to this is when it was adapted for the Hulk animated series, where, you see, Bruce Banner comes to visit his cousin, Jennifer Walters, out of California. Like, here's the thing. You think cousin, you think, oh, same last name. Nope. My guess is that she's probably the daughter of, and this is my personal guess, I think that she's probably related from his mother's side of the family because they're cousins. Now, she is the first known blood relative of the Hulk ever introduced in comics. Of course, in the 2000s, we're introduced to his two sons, his daughter, and, like, that's it. Basically, his extended family afterwards basically was introduced a little bit later. Of course, his wife is Betty Ross, first of two wives. The other, of course, is the hot alien lady he married during the Planet Hulk storyline. Now, the opening issue is this. He's visiting his cousin, and of course, she gets shot by gangsters. He, of course, has a blood transfusion, and he transforms into She-Hulk. Now, unlike her, she doesn't have an official outfit this period of time. Nope, her outfit is simply a torn white dress. And she has this outfit for the entire series. Yep. And throughout these issues, she is basically a defense attorney like she is nowadays. That's one part of her that's still never changed. She's a defense attorney. Who she works for has changed. She's gone through a few different law firms over the years, but she didn't have an official law firm herself until like the show run. And then when the current Raiders run started up, she basically worked for a former rival of hers. Isn't that weird? So she's been like a mob boss and like at one point Tony Stark shows up in the book where like he's accused of, get this, of having connections to the mob, and like basically he's brought for court, and it's a lot of mob stuff here with She-Hulk, which is weird. Now there's no regular, like, here's the thing, outside from Hulk and Iron Man, there's only one outside character in this whole book, and there's no more villains in this entire series so far. The only character is Michael Morbius. Yep, he pops up here for a couple issues during the period of time when he was cured. Then later on, he became Michael Morbius again. It's a very interesting start for the series, and also she has a sort of semi-love interest in the book named Zipper, her childhood friend, who's younger than she is. Yep. And at one point, she accidentally knocked him out. I'm surprised he doesn't stay with her. Now, here's the thing about this book, is that he is one of like two characters shown in this book who, to my knowledge, have never seen ever again after this. Zipper just never appears again after this series wraps up. Nope. Never does. I do not know why. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird though. Her father is a sheriff. It's kind of interesting the fact that they introduced her. By the way, the cover of the first issue that's actually a homage to Incredible Hulk #1. Also, there is actually one character. They bring in a character from Man-Thing, Richie Raymond, I believe his name is. He wins the jackpot casino, so the first thing he does, he buys the radio station he was fired from. And the first thing he does, right after he takes over the station, he fires his boss. Yep, now Zipper is introduced in issue #2. Yeah, Danny Zipper. That's his name. Zipper. Or Zapper, excuse me. Yeah, he only appears in this one book. Now, does it return after this? I don't remember him appearing after this. Not really. My mouse is frozen. There we go. Okay, he does return after this in Stage of She-Hulk. I kind of forgot because it's been a while. So his last known appearance was actually in the 100th issue for She-Hulk. Yep. The second issue was introduced to her father, Sheriff Morris Walters, who, to my knowledge, yeah, apparently he did appear after this in another book in She-Hulk, but yeah, I kind of forgot that he appeared in that book because it's been a long time. I only remember him just in this one book, and he's here for pretty much the entire series except for like 1 or 2 issues. Yeah, also there is Jill Stevens, who was a character introduced in issue 1, who actually gets killed off in the same issue she debuts in. Yep. There's also this guy named Nick Trask. He's a mobster who appears in this book, and he's only here for the opening 5 issues of this book because he gets killed off here. And there's a little bit of Raxon here too. There's a guy named Lou Minkerton. Now, does he appear again after this series? No. No, he doesn't. It's like some characters may return after this. She-Hulk doesn't necessarily have original villains per se. And then, of course, issue 6 is basically the 2-parter. That's a guest appearance just a one-shot guest appearance by Iron Man. Iron Man had last appeared Iron Man 245. Yep, 245. He's here because of mobster connections to him. And Richard Roy, that's his name, Richard Roy. He's the character from Man-Thing. He last appeared in Defender 78. His next appearance will be in the very next issue. Along with Man-Thing. Yes, Man-Thing makes appearance in this title. Now, does he become a supporting character in this book? Oh, yes, he does. Sadly put, once the series wraps up, he only appears like 3 times after this. Yeah, and I'm going to read his first appearance really soon. Apparently, Richard Rory is based upon his creator, Steve Gerber. I'm like, huh, interesting. Now, Man Thing, his previous appearance part of this very book was in Howard the Duck, Volume 2, Number 7, which came out like just prior to this book. Yeah, and then issue number 9 battles the Word and Tuma. The Word is some guy who appears in this book. He appears in for a few issues, and despite him being stopped, he just... By the way, he pops up once after this book wraps. He only appears in 9 and 10, and he pops up more 2, and that's it. Oh yeah, he's like this evil person. He has this woman named Atuma, who's his daughter, and she also appears 3 times. Basically, the same comic C person. Yep, and that was issues just 9 and 10. It's like, yeah, I go off and never appear over again. It's also got any Buck who appears in this book too. Yeah, and he himself, does he appear just in this very series? Yes, but he does appear a couple more times after that, and he's basically the local DA. Mm-hmm. And issue 14, basically 12 and 13 is basically stuff with Michael Morbius. Yep. Yeah, and also in issue 13, she basically meets Starguy, aka Man-Wolf. Yep. It's a quick 2-parter, and Hellcat's here for issue 14, and that's basically it. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, she's off in space, basically in the outer realm. Yeah, and the thing with Stargod is, he had just previously appeared in Fantastic Four, just a few years prior to this. And you might be curious, like, does John Jameson appear as a supporting character in this book? I don't remember him appearing more than just a couple times in this book. Yeah, his appearances were just a couple. I don't think he did much anything in the book. Now after this, his next appearance will be in Peter Parker's Psycho Spider-Man number 3. Though, of course, that one didn't mention this. It mentioned mostly his appearances in Creatures on the Loose. Yeah. But I'm going to give Savage Shield Volume 1 a 9 out of 10. Yes. Oops. Thank you. Alright, next up we have is Cable and X-Force Classic. It's referred to as Cable and X-Force Classic Volume 1, but there's like 3 of these ones. Excuse me. There we go. So, this book collects from Cable issues 21 through 28 and X-Force 44 to 48. And the book goes back and forth between both books. And 25 is a double-sized issue, because of course it is. And it's one of those gatefold covers. Yep, there's a gatefold cover for this one. Yeah. Or it's basically just Cable and a bunch of our characters. Now, I should point out, though, that both books in here are written by Jeff Loeb. Yep, he's your writer for both books. With Scott Lobdell, Fabian Nicieza, artwork by Arnie Jogason, Alan Pacino, Pollan, Ian Churchill, Salvador Roca, Wilfred Santiago, Jeff Masuna, Gary Frank, Tim Sale, Joe Samus, Robert Hayes, Randy Green, and Bob Hara. There's one issue cover here I gotta mention here. And it's the X-Force cover 44. Yeah, this cover is actually a homage to an X-Men cover. Yep, it is. It was the issue where this is the issue where Cannonball leaves the team, along with Richter. But the cover himself, the reason why he leaves because he joins the X-Men. Yep, that's the only reason why he leaves. Now, in the case, the Cable issues. Now, most of a lot of time we just Cable with, of course, he's here with now Caliban joins X-Force with Cable. Caliban joins X-Force with Cable 21. And the covers enter Baruch Smith. Yeah, he actually made his first appearance in X-Men Prime #1, which they included it in here. Yep, they included it in this classic book. Yeah, I'm not sure why they included it here but my only guess is because it's just after the events of Age Apocalypse. So, and by the way, the first issue on regular schedule program. Yep. So, it's a lot of it basically deal with the aftermath of Age Apocalypse and deal with various other stuff. Now, it seems like the Cable issues at this point because Jeff Loeb wrote both books. It's mostly like this book is the way the trade is structured is that they have the Cable issues between the X-Force issues, kind of. Yeah, and we also have a character named Grizzly who gets killed off in issue 24. And no, it's not the character from Amazing Spider-Man. It's a completely different Grizzly. His real name is Theo Winchester. Yep. Yeah. And also, I think it was the issues. Just part of this, basically, Cable's son, Tyler, who was also Mr. Tavaler, he was out to be the main villain of this book. Yep. So he gets killed off in issue 24. Does he come back after this? Excuse me. Yes, he does. He actually comes back in the Cable and X-Force annual. Actually, in flashback, let's see. Does he appear in this book here? I think he returns in Excalibur. Is when he gets resurrected for the opening issue of Excalibur. Yeah, so basically that's when he gets revived. Yep. Interesting, though, the fact they did this. And then 25 basically kills off the character Cordeless, who just debuted this very issue. Yeah, Strife's in the issue too, because of course he is. 26 versus the Magistrates, which is the remains of... Yeah, because they go to Genosha. Yep, they go into Genosha, basically. Some after effects of the Extinction Agenda. That's mostly what 26 is. And then, basically, 27, 28, you have Cable taking on frickin' Sugar Man. Yes, seriously. Oh, he does reference his debut appearance from Generation Next #2. Yeah, he does reference that in this issue. Yep. Now, if you're really curious, was his next appearance right after that event wrapped up? No. He previously appeared at the X-Men Prime. He previously appeared at X Factor number 113. He appeared in some issues. He mostly appeared at X-Man. And he appeared in this book, too. He never fought X-Force. Nope. So, okay. Quite interesting there. Now, of course, basically, now 45, Under One Roof. It is mostly put just Caliban taking on Sabretooth and Mimic. Really, with a really cool cover there. And then, yeah, take a mostly Mimic for the next few issues. You're thinking, Mimic? You mean like the last character Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created for their book? Yes. Yeah, he returns as a villain. Don't know why, but yeah. Jeff Loeb made a villain. Oh, and fun fact, prior to appearing in these issues, these two of the issues here for X-Force, he previously appeared in Marcon Presents 61. In a storyline, we had Wolverine and the Hulk on the road. Yeah, this involved the return of Mimic. And it's like, oh, he's here for a couple issues as a bad guy. And in 47, They got the game, well, Dr. Weissman and the Game Master. Yeah, who was a Jeff Loeb character. They found like it was real. It says he was also Harold Smith. Then he appeared just for 46 and 47. I think it wraps up at 48. I was thinking. Yeah, it does. And then basically for the last issue of the book, they take on the character Holocaust and Sebastian Shaw. Thinking Holocaust. Yeah, he's another character in Age of Apocalypse. Yep, they threw him in here because, well, he's one of those escapees from Age of Apocalypse. Yep, and prior to appearing in this very issue, his previous appearance was in X-Men Volume 2, number 43. And he appears for this issue that's straight here. And then next up, he appears in 49, which is sort of a lead-in to Onslaught. Yep. Excuse me. But yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Next up is the Punisher. Talk about him. And I have an announcement of the Punisher next video, okay? Next video. Bye.